Yo, what's up, guys? Back from the vacation. Gonna be talking about two events right now. Both of the events are already running, but both of the events are kind of like close to the moment where they're going to be interesting to talk about. So, first one is going to be the package events, which of those packages to choose, depending on your account and your needs, but also giving a little bit of insight on that. But also talking about the point shop, because I did get a bunch of questions when I was on holidays, like, yo, I'm at the end of the coin shop right now. What should you be buying? Should you be buying this? Should you be buying that? Or should you be buying this? I did do the math on that, and I'll showcase you that in a second. And it might actually surprise you, because it did surprise me in the first place. But first things first, let's actually talk about the package event. So with the package event, this is the thing where you're going to get all of these packs, or you could buy those packs, but you shouldn't. But you also have this one golden ticket, and with this one golden ticket, you can actually buy one of those packs for free, kind of style, as long as you just log in for like 40 days. So those are these golden packs over here. So which one are the highest of value? Well, let's first talk. This one definitely would not buy. 25 Mystical Scrolls, 3 Legendaries, really bad buy. Don't really recommend that. But then you have 4 left. And these 4 left are actually pretty solid. So for the alt, I will most likely go for this. 10 Devil Mons on a free-to-play new account is probably the best thing you can get. Like, getting 10 Devil Mons takes you quite a while, especially if you summon a whole bunch of net 5s that you're not deviling just yet. Those Devil Mons will probably have the highest value for you. So this is for new accounts. But then for more endgame accounts, well, I think this is going to be the most fun one for people of just adding in a whole bunch of scrolls. I would personally say probably this is the best value, and then light or dark. So this is the LD value of a 6 over there, and then another almost 3 over there. So this is a 9 LD value pack right there, which pretty decent in value right there. This one right here is also 3 and 3, and then this one you could kind of go like a little bit in the mid, where you also add in some re-ups. Is an option, but I value re-ups a little bit less these days. Like, you get a whole bunch of scrolls anyway, or a whole bunch of runes anyway, so it's not that crazy. But you also have this one, which might be particular. 15 rune boxes, and then also 15 over here for the artifact boxes. I would say that if you are looking for account progression, this is probably the best thing you can buy. Like, or can get, is you don't have to buy it. But this is probably the best thing. Like, if you're looking at account progression, especially if you're farming a shit ton of giants, but you're never really doing dragons, doing this will definitely help you out. This one I would probably select on type artifact, because you kind of want more of those attack and supports, whereas this one could be a little bit too much all over the place, and here you can kind of narrow it down to attack and supports, I guess. But this is by far the best one for account progression. But if you want to just have fun and gamble your thing away, I would probably just go for this one right there, or even this one. If you're missing some LD3s, if like you're talking about like a newer account-ish, then it's probably this kind of shape or way. So I think, well, on the alts, if I did not need the Devil Mons, I would have probably done this one and that one over there. On the main, I'm maybe gonna do this one, or I'm gonna do this one, but I think I'll just gamble it away, and I'm just gonna go for this one right there. Should you be buying any of those packs with like the $100 that are shown over here? Nah, not really, because the crystal value is kind of low on it, and there's plenty enough of other packs like good enough out there right now that you could potentially buy. This could maybe be a buy-ish, but 2.4k crystal value on 6 of these and 15 of these, there's definitely better packs out there. So I would not really buy them with like the actual cash price in there. But yeah, that's my recommendation. New accounts for the Devil Mons. I would say best account progression, the one with the runes and the artifacts, and the best one for you just kind of want to gamble your thing away is this one. If you kind of want to go in the mid, you can always throw this one over here, or you can use this one over there and then still have something to summon. But if you go for this, I would rather just go for like the Devil Mons, in my opinion. But that is my opinion right there. Let me know in the comments, think about that. And then we're going to go towards the next one, which is going to be the Ultimate Shop. And the Ultimate Shop did actually, as I mentioned before, I think most people kind of get to the point right now where you're at the Ultimate Shop. Did already buy these. These actually have a limit, which is kind of weird, because for the fact that you don't know it just yet, you can get unknown scrolls, and from those unknown scrolls, you can also get energy. How does that work? Well, you just summon unknown scrolls. This is the summoning session that I will have later today. So if you're checking the video right now, I might be live, and then you want to check that out. So if you summon unknown scrolls, you get a whole bunch of 1, 2, and 3 stars. Those 1, 2, and 3 stars can then be used towards making a random unit towards a 6-star. So if we were to, let's say, do I have anything right now that I would like to 6-star? Probably not. Let's say I make this JoJo 6-star. We add in a bunch of those units that just came from the unknown scrolls. With the unknown scrolls, you also then get your 200 energy. So what is the trade-off for that? How much do you actually get per unknown scroll? Well, of course, we got to do the math, Rune, on that. These are the rates for 1 stars and 2 stars. There is also a rate for 3 stars, but it's definitely kind of low. And it's, well, for a lot of accounts, you're not really feeding in your 3 stars as much. So what does that mean that we have? We have a 61 star value per buy. So that is going to be a buy of 250 points, 50 value. And therefore, we have a star value of 61.5, which would translate into every unknown scroll is worth 0.41 energy. So if we look at the pile over here, that would be a simple this times this. This pile over here is worth 6,539 energy, technically. Keep in mind that this method does cost you some mana, and you have to use those units to actually level up other stuff, or you have to do something with them to get rid of them, and you have to have enough 3 stars to actually feed up, and blah, blah, that kind of stuff. But that is something we're not going to calculate in this video. I have other videos talking about that kind of stuff. So then let's talk about how much do you need to get a particular violent rune. So we're just going to aim that at violent. So technically, by that reason, a unknown scroll buy is 0.5 higher than an energy buy, which is a little bit better, but it does cost you mana, so therefore might be not better. But we do have a limited factor on the energy buy, but there's no limited factor on the unknown scroll. But then there's one thing. This says hero plus. And normally when it's hero, I always do mention go for fight runes. But hero plus means that you can actually get more than hero. So let's do 10. I think the average from what I've seen for people is that 3 out of 10 is going to be a legendary, which is actually pretty good rates. And especially to throw at violent if you normally don't really farm dragons that much. So let's do the math on that. And we're just going to be aiming for legend violence. Because sure, heroes, you're going to keep some, but most of them you're selling, and it also complicates the math by a lot. Or just, well, it doesn't complicate it. It just makes it a lot more. So I'm just going to be lazy. I'm going to throw in what is the energy value of 1 violent rune on legendary. So for that, we first need to know how much energy does it actually cost to do a dungeon. Well, with the cashback that you have, you actually cost 7.6 energy per dungeon you do, because you get a cashback of about 1.4. The drop rate of a rune is about 81. Then you have the legendary drop rate, which is 21. And then you have the violent drop rate on top of that of a 13. So with all of that combined, you have a 2.3% chance to actually get a violent rune legendary. That does mean that your energy per violent rune is equal to this. Not gonna name that, too much effort. And then it also translates the other way around. How much energy do I have to spend to get 1 violent rune, which is actually 330. Then it's going to be the unknown scroll versus rune. So we need to buy 3 of those to get to the same value of getting 1 legendary rune, because we get probably like it's 1 in 3-ish. So therefore 2 of them will be hero, 1 of them will be legendary. We also have to buy 3 times the unknown scroll buy, so both of them are 750 points, because they are the equal amount of points, 750 and, or well, 250, 250, so 750 if you buy 3. That means that we get a unknown scroll of value of energy of 61.5, but we get a rune value towards energy of 110. Keep in mind that this method doesn't give you runes, doesn't give you any unknown scrolls or mystical scrolls or any kind of random cashback. It only focuses on specific on violent runes. It doesn't take in account that you get like the whole plethora of different runes where you could get like a quad speed and like a revenge rune and blah, 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 this kind of stuff. Because on paper, this actually looks like, yo, you should definitely be getting that specific violent rune, or you should be buying the violent runes in this. Yes and no. And that is mainly because now we're looking really specific at one specific rune, and that also makes a big difference. Because right now, if we were to change this, I'm not sure if it changes all of the values that I have mentioned. No, it doesn't change anything. Oh, wait, this number I actually put in a heart over there. But yeah, that's the thing. Like, the moment that you already look at a Swift rune or any rune that has like less or a more of a drop rate, because this is a 0.13, so aka 13%. Getting a Swift rune is straight up like a 21%. So therefore, it already drops a lot of value in here. So this would already go down to probably like 81-ish% or something like that. So keep in mind that this is only mentioned for violent runes where it's nearly or like pretty close to twice the value. So it looks pretty nice. But keep in mind, you're not going to get any of the other runes. However, there's one big plus to this method of just buying the runes. You don't have to spend that much time to farm. You don't have to spend that much time to make all of your unknown scrolls into 6 stars, into like blah, 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 summoning all of that. So this is definitely a time saver. But normally where I say throw these into fight, I would recommend throw these into violent. Especially if you're not really a violent farmer, you don't really farm dragons, then this is by far the best thing you can do, throw it at violent. If you normally farm a lot of dragons, could you throw it at like will or swift? Yes, but then this value already probably goes down to like 70 or 80 or something along those lines. Simply because the drop rate of a violent rune is a lot lower than the drop rate of a swift rune or a will rune. Because in every dungeon you have one rune type that is more difficult to obtain. In Dragons, that's violent, plus Dragons also has a 6 drop table rather than a 5 drop table, which does add 2 extra values to it, where violent becomes a lot more rare. So if you're getting anything else, or if you're focusing on anything else than violent, I would not buy this, and I would buy the unknown scrolls. If you're focusing just purely on getting violent from these, I would throw them at violent. You can also throw them if you're really lacking on fight runes. I would throw like a bunch of them on fight runes, because if you throw like this many points on fight runes, you're probably done with fight runes for the next 2-3 years. Like, that's legit. Like, you only need this many fight runes and you're pretty much already done. So, and you will get a lot of legendaries of those as well. So that's definitely one of those things. I would recommend, like, if you're low on fight runes, still throw them at fight runes. Would definitely not buy the unknown scrolls. But if you're farming a lot of giants and R5 and all of that good stuff, but not that much dragons as I am right now, because I don't really like to farm dragons, we rock all of those in a violent, and we do get ourselves 87 violent legendary runes, which that's a good number. And we're gonna up that number because these are rookie numbers. Well, guys, thanks a lot for watching for this one. Let me know in the comments what you think about it, and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.